time for Formula Hololive once again here in Fuji Speedway. Welcome everyone to the 2026 season of Formula Hololive International. We kick off 2026 with our first race of the year, the Formula Hololive International Riding on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji. And of course, we're going back to a try and tested format this time by, after fiddling with a bit of a format with the super sprints and all that. But now we're gonna go back to basics, and we're gonna be taking a look into Fuji Speedway. Okay, we lied about the track being 3.704 kilometers. That was literally a carryover sport from Sportsline Sugo. Might want to actually adjust that. 6, 15, I've got 66, and 305. So yeah, apologies for the oversight on the track map. Like a bit of a thing to fix. Alright, it's fixed. So it's 4.8 kilometers of the Fuji Speedway layout. 16 corners actually instead of 17. We also got that wrong. Whoops. And of course we'll be racing for 66 laps for 305 kilometers. And this is a Grand Prix round. So we need to really think about the endurance in this one. Current lap time 1:28.234. We'll see if we can reach a 227 with these cars, and be reminded that the Indonesia class cars are currently under a ballast, so that is also one thing to take into factor as a taking into consideration. Alright, so let's take a look into the drivers right now, currently set to race in the competition. We have Harvard Speed coming into this round, coming into the 2026 season as 24-25 champion. Was won 2 races last time out in, well, last season. Actually just won at the Mega Dimensions Grand Prix at Lime Rock Park. But he has been the most consistent driver all round, so I need to pay attention to that as well. He also won a Hall type race at Ram. He's definitely got some pedigree heading into this season and into this race as the defending champion. And lining up alongside him will be, of course, some other drivers like Rafael Oliveira, who now takes over the as a race car number 76, who did finish runner-up last season. And of course, it's now been driven by Rafael Oliveira. And Ryan Kagawa now moved into the Pavone Rene ride in a swap team. Joshua Surrey and Leah Kai, or rather, sorry, her name is not Leah Kai. I can't believe we forgot to change the name again. It's not Leah Kai because she has also applied to change her name to Irene, which is also an interesting welcome of sorts, if that is a thing. So, also making the change, also remaining as a constant this season is, of course, India Ferrari for Rara Bandera. Also, going to be exciting to take a look into, because we have also made slight adjustments in the standings. Alright, right now was Tony Fernando, 7th favorite, as Luna finished 7th. Then we got Hazi Ghazi, Mohamed Reza, and Corey Commander running out of top 10. Kermit and Tawan Bumi make up 11 and 12. Just to remind you that the top 12 after qualifiers will make the World CEO Cup. Yuta Sano, 2023-24 champion, Asos Wasif. And Horsataro has also vacated his slot as the Amane Kanata, or rather as Oro Tony driver, to be replaced by Tyler Williams. Now racing for Oro Tony after Amane Kanata have announced her, after Amane Kanata graduated on December 27, 2025, wrapping up exactly 6 years of service to Hololive. We have 100 review team Adachi Yoshitayo, now replaces Ahmed El Shore. And alongside Yoshitayo will be Alex Francis, Steven Newgreen, and this is Ryan Batista. Ben Jensen for Iris, Dan Evans for Iron 15, with support changes to mention. Ray Brower now takes over the Mokuko number 52, and will be his first start for Mokuko start in Formula Hololive International after the race Gagura in the season finale at Mandalika. Same goes for Matthias Acardas and Reggie Aldi after he has made his final start for the national movement in the same race in 2025 in Mandalika. Alright, let's not waste ourselves any more time. Welcome everyone to Fuji Speedway. My name is Wamachan Reza, and we are now going to get this qualifying session underway. And if you do want to notice a few more things here, no, we are not going to replicate the mode of racing that we had last time out. But we are going to focus on one thing here. Remember, Fuji Speedway will also host the 7 Fest race of basically our annual Fest race at Fuji Speedway, and this time it will be called Riding on Dreams 600 at Fuji Speedway. Lots of intriguing things in prospect, as we are now seeing a few cars coming out of this track now. One of them being Ray Prower for Mokuko Bisgard. Obviously looking to be the solid contender that he wants to be. He's already won here at Fuji Speedway last time he went here, and that was in holotype, where the Suyo feed was supposed to go to Suzuka. Well, it did go to Suzuka, but there's so many issues on the track. It necessitated a move to Fuji Speedway, and of course, Great Power has had a chance, has already had the ability to win at Fuji. Can't wait to see how he handles the new pastors. Obviously, he also had a very, very tough campaign for. Also had like a. So yeah, so Great Power looking to make things work. So we are gonna see Great Power progress first lap here at Speedway. Now barreling down into turn 1, getting into the rumble strip on the left as a brake mark in turn 1. Now into the car. He's 50 feet aboard as your turn and medium brake, and then 100 arcs for real. Take the link apex for you to get enough speed at the exit, and then brake just before the billboard at the hairpin, and then you exit into the 300 car. Full blast on skate. Use the billboard as your reference for braking. As you can see here, oh, absolutely using the rear end of his car for turning. Absolutely put a lot of wheel spin, which helps him turn it. Just enough for him to navigate through and not into the third sector, hanging around in second gear. Just to wheel spin into the final corner. Getting a late apex off of it to make this 1.5 kilometer long straight for him to finish off his lap. 2025 Fuji winner has made his mark. And obviously he's done a very good job though. 128.751, only 0.4 off. And of course, at Fuji Speedway, actually a decent amount of the INT drivers have made their marks at Fuji Speedway. Obviously, he has had his late race pressure to secure the win by a comfortable margin. Of course, he was competing against Aaron Nakamura, the 24-25 All Japan Series champion. started in second that race, alongside pole sitter Tyler Williams. Well, back then he was representing Americana, and he just stayed in second till the pit stops. Where it looks to me that Great Power has already been used to the overcut strategy, and that's what actually gave him the win. As more drivers now set the lap time to 2023-24 champion, no longer the defending champion. He is one of the champions in Formula Hololive International. He's already made his mark with a 128.30. And speaking of which, the ID Class will continue to show performance even after a decent amount of ballast being added, 125 kilos for equal performance of sorts. Interesting results here. So ID Class 1-2. Brower is the best EN class car right now. He's currently in third. Hang on, I just need to check if we are missing something, because we might actually have missed something. So you might want to give us a while. Alright, so I might need to double check if these cars are able to refuel. So we are just going to double check. Alright, so might we need to give us a moment here, as we are just going to double check on the car files. Just need to double check again. Okay, never mind. It looks to me that there are refueling in the cars, because I thought I might have to adjust the car files again. And now we're back in qualifying. Wasif currently on provisional pole right now. Ryan Kagawa currently in second on all ID class front row. Again, Adachi is the next best EN class car. He's currently running in fifth. Zakari is also showing a decent amount of pace though, and if you do want to take a look into something here, the worst performing ID class car is currently Hanari Miyuki, who already peeled into the pits. Sorry, that's Dan Evans, who is currently down in 20th, so there's still parity up in the top and from the top to the bottom. Kagawa has said enough. To me that everyone has set their laps here, and therefore everyone is basically going to the pits. And Jeff Ferrari goes in, Corey Mendes goes in, Azuri goes in. So this essentially means that the qualifying session is now over. The one lap dash has been done. Aziz Muazif is your pole sitter for this 2026 Riding on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji International Series race. So we're just going to double check on things first, make sure everything is all okay. Cars peel into the pits, and we are now ready to announce the starting lineup for today's Riding on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji International Series race. And of course, let's introduce our pole sitter for this race, Aziz Muazif for Ayunda Risu gets his pole for our first race in 2026. And alongside him will be Hinoshi Tayo, or rather Johnny Pranata, for Hoshinobu Muna. On his first start for Muna in Formula Hololive, he's doing a very good job. And guess what? Ryan Kagawa has actually beaten has rather beaten Great Power for 3rd spot. Forgot to change the halo. We'll do that in the next race. And then we got Great Power himself in the Fuamoko number 52. 5th place will be Angela Sims for Anya Milfisa. Lining up alongside her will be Takeda Adachi for Ninamai Inanis. Evelyn Kuromi, the International Series Champion of Hall type, will make something happen from 7th place on the grid for ERB. Alongside her will be Matias Zacharias for Prijolni. Haziyate for Sharon Novella starts alongside Leah Kai for Hakas Bills in 10th. And also then we also have Nishkayo for Kyla Kavolka in 11th. Alongside her will be Mama Chazareza in 12th for Koseki Biju. Alex Grant starts 13th for Cecilia Emigri with 14th place Kawa Bumin for Fuawa Abisgard. 15th place is Rara Bandera and Enzio Ferrari will start where they are in 15th. Of course, winning the World Zago is no easy feat, especially given that it's tough competition. Well, let's talk about that later. And then we also have Javier Lusby, our defending Formula Hololive International Champion, starting in 16th place for Mrs. Zeta. Hana Ryuki saw 7 people Kobo Kanayero with alongside her. Rafael de Oliveira for Nerissa Ravencroft. Jorge Mendez starts 19th for Takana Shikara. Alongside him will be Kyle Williams, who will be making his Formula Hololive International debut for Oro Crony. And then we got 21st, Dan Evans for Irene 15th. Sven Jensen, 22nd for Iris, 23rd Yuta Sano for Gigi Marin, and alongside him will be the Holotype World CEO Champion, Joshua Zer from Mordecai Leopi. Let's see how he does from the back of the field. We'll see if the safety car has peeled in, and I don't think he's peeled in. Alright, so we are just about to get started as we are going to switch the cameras. Give me a second. Alright, so we got 24 cars lined up for the start of this Formula Hololive International race. It is Aziz Moazev on pole position. Alongside him will be Johnny Pranata for the start of this Running on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji race. And we are off. Look at the ID class cars with an amazing launch as they're now coming into turn 1. Pranata now leads over Moazev. Will there be contact further back? No, there is not. Everyone's just tiptoeing their way. Exiting turn 1 and now coming to Coca-Cola corner. We see Moazev and Pranata going side by side. Pranata sticks it around the outside and now switches into the inside into 100R. Sticks it in. Will he be able to hang on? Yes, he does, but not for long. As Aziz Moazev fights him back at the hairpin. But Johnny Pranata has the better exit off of the hairpin. And it will be Johnny Pranata leading over Moazev. Ryan Kagawa in 3rd. Angela Sims with an amazing start in 4th, but can she hold off Great Power for long? Yes, she can. Great Power stays in 5th, but not before Great Power goes for a gung-ho move down the inside. And that does not work so far. Zakaria 6th, Adachi 7th. Holding off Evelyn Kuromi for 8th place. Iron 9th, and Mama Shadreza runs out of top 10. That's a great start there from Angela Sims, who manages to get into 4th place, beating Great Power under these cars, have a pretty poor start. Now they're just going to make their way into the main straights after one lap here in Fuji Speedway. And look at Evelyn Kuromi getting very close to make a move down the inside onto the Nomai Inani's driver. And look at Kuromi already lining up alongside Adachi, trying to find a way to hang around the outside into turn 1. And has that better exit just about. Beats Kuromi so far and is already a car length ahead. Great defensive move there from Adachi. Lusby is hanging on around the outside of Alex Grant. Fabio Lusby, the defending champion, tries to make his mark as Adachi goes into 6th place, beating Matias Zacharias. And we just had the news there that all drivers are still in this race. Joshua Zuri still struggling in that back spot, the final place on the grid. 24th out of 24th, not where he wants to be at. Massive already lost the lead to Johnny Pranata, as Pranata now tries to find a way to build up his gap, and he's doing it pretty well right now. You can see he's already just maintaining the status quo between himself and Waze right now. Okay, well, at the back we are seeing more moves. Watch out though for Dino Stayo against Momoshiro. She is going to see if she can make her way to the top 10. Same goes for Irene and Zacharias, as they're now making their way into turn 1 once again, starting in lap 3. Irene was solid. Defensive, solid move down the inside. Maintains her spot so far and continues to go alongside Zacharias. They now make their way into the Coca-Cola corner. And Zacharias has to watch out for the outside as Leah Kai, or rather Ivan, just makes the move effortlessly. Kim Shayo's also made the move against Sharon Reza. And that's another set of racing moves done. Meanwhile, Hagen Lusby's not done with Hana Ryuki. Both of them follow hero teammates, but it's going to be Hana Ryuki who sticks around the outside, exiting the hairpin. That's where she stays for now. Race wheel monitor looks to me that everyone will be pitting pretty early for the ID class cars. So, EN class cars will also be pitting pretty early in this race. That will throw a huge spanner in the works because the EN class cars will be hanging on for as long as they can in the middle of this race. Failing is allowed for these cars, which is essentially the reason they're all get to see these varying strategies here. Meanwhile, Zacharias is going to go get himself against Evelyn Kuromi. He's now lined up ahead of Irene. Sorry, it's not Kuromi, Irene. As Sims, meanwhile, battles against Ryan Kagawa. Kagawa now down the inside. Can he stick it? The answer is going to be no, as Sims manages to stay into 3rd place. It's a full ID class 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can't think of it because there's Ryan Kagawa. Ray Brower, meanwhile, is keeping his wits about it. He's only about 1.2 seconds behind, but he does have the favorable pit stop strategy. While you're not seeing the EN class cars absolutely making the run. You can see here they are absolutely rear end to help with his turn in, and of course with these types of cars, how they're very significant to the spin. Rick is showing his insane talent to basically just modulate his throttle very well and hold the car solidly enough for him to make his mark. 193. Johnny, and he's looking very intensively to get Hoshinova Muna a win here. And it's not just going to be any win, because when was the last time Hoshinova Muna actually won a Formula Hololive race? Well, you might have to go back potentially. Actually, no. Hoshinova Muna has never won a Formula Hololive race before. It will be something to pay attention here for Pranata, as he might just be able to get something from this race. Like everyone is just just calming down right now, except Javier Luzpi, who's absolutely still charging down against all drivers in the field, showcasing his veteran skills. Already... Oh, and that's him with an engine failure! He's, just as we said that he was already making his mark. The first retirement of this race comes for the defending champion. And what a shock to see here. Because Javier Luzpi was already battling out against and now he's just out. So, and also just wanted to give a bit of an update as well. Dan Evans also retired from this race. So already 2 ID class cars out with reliability woes, which of course is very much not something that you would want to wish upon for any driver. But racing is racing, and sometimes your parts fail on you through no fault of your own, and that's a massive shame. Speaking of which, Alex Beck has already overtaken Shazin Reza for 11th place. Right now, we are just going to be paying attention onto how strategies fall, come and go. Dan Evans and Javier Luzpi have already come into the pits. It looks like the ID class cars are about to be called into making a field stop. And just want to remind everyone that we have not made a lot of changes to the car lines. Just the same as Carz and fielding. And right now, we got already making their pit stops. Kagawa is going to hang on for one more lap. Wazev coming in, Sims also coming in. Great Brower now in 2nd place, trying to make use of his strategy here. And he's facing Kagawa right now. This needs to really manage to steal the can. He wants to really go long. So he can just try to go quick and set fast laps after fast laps for that over the strategy. And right now we are seeing these cars currently being stationary right now. 4 cars at the moment, and it looks to me that they are gonna go for a full... Oh, and that's another car! That's an engine failure for Enzo Ferrari. We saw plumes of smoke. An EN class car out of the race, and that is a massive shame for Enzo Ferrari, as we unfortunately have to witness yet another retirement in this race. And now we are just going to see here, Aziz Mwazir is still not getting out of the pits. Neither does Jody Pranata, neither does Sims or Hinochi Tayo. This is a potential case of concern, but now there is no concern. Johnny Pranata has exited. Amongst the drivers have already made a pit stop, and Johnny Pranata went from leading the race to being lapped. The game plan now for these EN ID class cars is to just hang on until the finish. As we see Zacharias overtaking Evelyn Kuromi. Luzpi and Evans, still the drivers who have already retired from this race alongside Enzo Ferrari. Kuromi has made a move against Zacharias down at the hairpin, but you see here, Zacharias is already fighting one back against Romy, and that means Zacharias up in 4th place, but not in 3rd, Brower in 2nd. And right now, there is a decent difference now between Kagawa and Brower. It was at 1.7 seconds early on, but now it's expanded to 3 seconds. The ID class cars absolutely showcasing their potential. Right now. And yeah, the potential comes into the pits. Ryan Kagawa is still hanging on. And you can see here, he is going to stretch his fuel for as long as he can. Zacharias is also coming from the pits. And we'll see where he is relative to Gina Shitayo. Already Angela Sims, and you can see here, Hunter and Yuki's having not so much a good day against Shazza Reza, who is currently up into 7th place after the other ID class cars have made their pit stops. Sakara still into the pits. Joshua Zuri will now get his way into 17th place. Pranata now in 18th. Wazib in 19th. So far, Iron now currently climbing back up into 5th place and into the final sector. Paro continues to somewhat lose time against the ID class cars, but we'll see how much of a gamble this will be in terms of like the entire pit stop. Thousands of fans sitting at their stands. We have now finished 9 laps here in Fuji Speedway. Zacharias still inside his pit box, but not for 9 anymore, as he will now be beaten by Pranata and Muazif, and just about beats Angela Sims, as Sims now is about to get lapped though by Evelyn Romy. Romy about to make life a bit difficult for Sims, and that will be Romy up into 4th place. Kagawa is being called into the pits right now. One of the last of the ID class cars who have yet to make a pit stop, other than Hanari Miyuki. And we are expecting the two to also make their pit stops this lap. So we're gonna have to see how it works from here. So yeah, by the way, gonna take a minute's break just to rest myself and to check on situations. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in the next lap. We're back at Fuji Speedway, and we have just had confirmation that Kagawa and Hanari have now peeled into their own pit boxes. Brower now leads the Riding on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji International Series race. And right now we are yet to see the EN class cars making their pit stops. Pranata now leads the pack, just ahead of Adachi. He has already been lapped, already is about to be lapped by Adachi. He's already lapped by the current race leader, Great Brower, 5 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago. Was actually battling with him on track. Kagawa is taking a decent amount of time. Miyuki as well. Pranata now already coming into the front straight, completing 10 laps. He's completed 11. Kagawa has beaten Johnny Pranata. Same goes for Nozakana Miyuki, but here's the big shock here. Kagawa has now beaten all of the ID class cars in this pit stop strategy by staying longer. And it is absolutely showcasing his showcasing his ability to be masterful on the in terms of strategy. Right now, he is leading amongst the ID class cars. How about the other EN class cars? Well, they will be pitting later in the race, actually pretty very honestly. So we will have to. It'll be a pretty much much a touch-and-go situation for all of the other drivers to see where they end up. Right now, great power from Mokoko Biscard is absolutely showing his ability to stay composed and on the track right now. Stay composed in the lead. He's already had a 5-second lead over Adachi, and he is currently battling Pranata, who is currently running in 16th, just outside points standard. Oh yeah, so we have this interesting battle here between De Oliveira in 10th place with Asano in 20th and This is for 10th place, and right now it is a solid battle here. Tsutoshi Taiyo battles out for 20th place against Angela Sims. They were fighting at the front of the pack, and now they're fighting in the middle of it, or at the rear of it. And you can see here Taiyo now is fixing around the outside to keep herself ahead of Sims. That's about it, but could not settle for the move. Reza, meanwhile, is in 5th place, looking for some opening in this racing craft. Unfortunately, nothing to find. So, that is that so far. Now ahead of Alex Grant. He's now in 12th place, looking for a move against Hyuta Asano in 11th. But right now, still nothing to look out for. But watch out, though, for Alex Grant. That was a surprise move that caught Sven Jensen unaware. And now Alex Grant is going to have a serious chance of taking 12th place. An element of surprise. But Sven Jensen keeps hanging on the inside line into turn 14. Grant, meanwhile, keeps his foot in it, and now finally settles on a 12th place spot. What a surprise move that was from Grant. Obviously, showcasing his veteranness. Obviously, in his 5th season in ARO competitions, he has been in Fuji Speedway since 2022. So he knows racing in Japan. He's obviously showcasing his skill right now on the track. Meanwhile, Tawan Gumin looking for a move against Mama Shazan Reza for 5th place. Corey Committed, meanwhile, chasing Hazukiyazi. Just gonna have to be wary of what's going on here, and we're just gonna... Oh, and that's another move there. Elgin beats back Sven Jensen. And Joshua Zuri has now come into the pits. Just notice that. As Zuri will be hanging on until the end of this race. He will be behind Pranata and Wazif. And this is the crucial part. Pranata and Wazif have spent a lot of time in the pits. So, as it stands right now, Zurich will have a very serious shot, though, of getting into the top 10. And you can see here the train of cars forward behind Miyuki right now. There's Leah Kai, currently, Aaron, who's currently running in 4th. Shadariza in 5th, Boomin in 6th. So there's a massive train of cars coming on. And you can see here, Boomin saw an opening, but could not stick with it with Shadariza. And right now, these cars are just absolutely shredding our tires. And right now, the A-Class cars are going to see if they're able to keep on going. And Hunter Miyuki is being cleared by Iron. Hunter Miyuki racing. Ivan right now. Right now, Prower, showcasing his ability, his race pace and skill, has already built a gap over Adachi. He's quite behind right now, and not just behind, he's also behind Pranata, which obviously does not help with matters right now. Right now, no. And right now, Kiasi. Right now, this could be a good day for the EN class cars as far as strategy is concerned. Because remember, if you can be good in qualifying, but if you don't settle it in the race, then it's going to be probably pointless in the end. As you see, Gwen now beats Rafael de Oliveira. He's already showcasing his race skill. And watch out though for Hyota Sano against Sven Jensen. Now, Bubu is already seeing on challenge against Enrique Mendes, as Mendes was also almost going to see if he can make a move done. And you can see here, Bumin almost tried to make a move on Shannon Reza, but just too far back, so has to back off. Frantic racing action midway here in Fuji Speedway. Some lockup there from Mendes, but managed to keep the car pointed in a straight line. Miyuki continues. Already Miyuki and Azure continue to lead this train of cars. Into turn 1, and we might see some 3-wide action between Tayo and also Hanari Miyuki. Will make there be contact. There is not contact. Meanwhile, Dawabumi is almost ahead of Shannon Reza, but Shannon Reza is gonna try to see if he can make a move done. But it looks to me that Bumi has been securing P5, and he did. Already starting to lose some of that luster on his car. Azure, meanwhile, is leading his own pack and is not pulling away against Hanari Miyuki. This will be crucial in his ability to climb up in the field. Hanari Miyuki now ahead of Hinoshitayo after that overtake at the hairpin. And Hinoshitayo is going to try to fight one back after seeing Miyuki getting very conservative in that Dunlop chicane entry. Same goes for Sims as she tries to get her way against Zacharias. Ben is now about to beat Shannon Reza, but Shannon continues to make his car as wide as he can. Into the inside line, into turn 14, into turn 15 and 16. Corey Mendes has the inside line. Shannon sticks it around the outside. He should have the better exit. That's a poor exit though from Corey Rico, and he's not plans to go into the pit. And right now we're seeing 3 wide, double wide action on 3 separate instances. Okay, Zakaria now is about to see if he can get his place back. Now Bumi now gets into the fight against Corey Rico Mendes, and also Tyler Williams now going down to 8th place against Yassi. Shadreza has been Tawan Bumi, but still needs to find a way past Corey Rico Mendes. Certainly that's a hard-stopping great action here in Fuji Speedway as slowly but surely the sun sets here in this track in this evening race. And Raina Williams sticking around the outside. So Henson has beaten De Oliveira for an 11th place. Chandreza meanwhile is gonna see if he can make a surprise move down the inside against Mendes, but it's just too far back. Any move to be done. Chandreza meanwhile is looking for some avenue of attack. 38.266. The gap now opens back up to 8.5 seconds. trying to see off pressure from Mendes and from Ridin and Yazzie. Shadow meanwhile is about to go down the inside onto Koiriga Mendes. This is for the top 5. And he gets the move done. Alex Grant goes into the pits. Relative battle will be with Joshua Zurit. And we'll see how it goes for the American driver representing the Automaton. Continues to stay inside the top 5. Tawan Booming also stays inside where he was back then after the Federers made an overtake. Speaking of which, Alex Grant has now led Kagawa. And guess what? This is just worth it. Trying to make an early pit stop, but again, looking at Red Bull, they said they made 2 pit stops, but they've only made 1. Which is a interesting thing to note. You managed to put your card and hit it at that time. You should be able to spend minimal time in the pits for your refueling period, and that should allow you to lose less time in the pits relative to the other competition. Now side by side with Mendes at 100 over the Coca-Cola corner, now into 100R. Boobin now continues to stay ahead in 6th place. Shadowreza now 19 seconds behind Iron and still has a decent amount of lightning class cars to fight off, which Shadowreza is now fending off Hanari Miyuki. Anyways, back into a good situation here. It looks like Arias has gone a bit loosey. He's about to be under pressure from Shadowreza, who's already lining up to go down the inside. Both of them having decent amounts of racing experience beforehand. It's going to be a veteran driver who basically gets it done. Meanwhile, it's fending off Hazik Yazzie. They're both side by side into Coca-Cola corner. Will's now sticking around the outside. Can he hang around? Yes, he does. Speaking of which, we do have some things to note. Currently, we have Asano trying to challenge Rivera. This is for 11th place. Asano, meanwhile, is just going to stick around the outside, looking for anything. Right now, as you can see here. Meanwhile, in 7th place, now fending off, challenging. Or we can around the outside into turn 12. Oh, and that's contact between Koiriga Mendes and Nawabume, and that's a heavy collision between the two. That's gonna make them lose a lot of time, and I think this would be terminal damage for Tawan Boomin. I really can't tell if this is a case of a potential collision or not, because they were all battling to each other, and now you can see Ismail Jensen is having all sorts of problems with his car. He's still pointing his car in the right direction. I think it started with Koiriga Mendes just losing the rear as he was going side by side, and then him rejoining has not been this one. Still able to continue as usual, but with insane amount of damage, and just barely keeping his car in a straight line. So he should escape a penalty. But he does have a green wounded car. Donald Bowman has confirmed his retirement from this race. And right now the penalty will serve in of itself. You can see how slow Mendes is in the right-hand corner because he cannot steer anymore to the right. His steering is already pretty much bent. And watch out for De Oliveira and Asano are going to try to make a move against Puerto Rico, who's already pretty much stricken. Asano goes the right way, and De Oliveira is stuck in the wrong way as he gets blocked though by a stricken Puerto Rico Mendes. And right now he is pretty much a moving chicane, but he's not that bad of a moving chicane, so there's no need for a red flag right now. Says Puerto Rican Mendes might need to hang on for another 23 laps trying to nurse the car. Should be able to maintain somewhat of a minimum speed. But again, he will struggle in the right-hand corners due to his bent steering. So he's just gonna have to sort of run on this car. Speaking of which, brake power now needs to straight by over 13 seconds over to get Adachi. And right now the ID class cars, like Kagawa, have already been overtaken by Pranata, who is currently leading the ID class. ID class currently. Right now, Corey is actually getting pretty close, and he does have some pace in the straights. But this is where he absolutely struggles, because right now you can see here, he's already turning as much as he can. You can see how much slow he is at 100R. And watch out though, as here comes Alex Grant, potentially taking a move down the inside. But right now he's just not there yet. Right now he's just gonna let all the other cars go through. If not much of an issue, great power as well. He's already gone a lap down. Already 23 laps into this race. Still a long way to go before we properly reach the conclusion. And you can see here, as we mentioned, already struggling with heavy amounts of damage on his steering. See here just how much he's struggling. We will have to check on his last lap. See here how much acceleration gets knocked there by Pranata. Last lap is now been at 150.09. 30 or so. So right now, Puerto Rican Mendes is gonna. He does have some pace. It's just that. Adachi having no such problems with Mendes right now, and it just happened. And it's also crazy given that Puerto Rican Mendes is one of those who will be getting the latest, other than Hiron, Hazeki, etc. Speaking of, Kagawa is just about losing it against Romy, who's currently running in third place. He is on as usual. Azuri has been overtaken by Matthias Zacharias. Zacharias now pulls away. Hazigazi, meanwhile, in 7th place, looking for something against title win, but they need to be aware about the current situation with Puerto Rico. He is going to continue on in this race. There's not much decision about going into the pits. Chasing Kyle Williams for 6th place, and we are just gonna see here the difference in rocket starts. Velocity Ian class cars absolutely gaining a lot in the start of this race. Corey Mendes is only 8.46. How much longer if he needs to hang on? And he's already a lap down with serious amounts of damage. Not related to much of a problem. You can see here he's just putting full amounts of steering lock on that steering wheel. It's just that's as far as it can go. And into the final corner he goes, into the main straight. To get himself into where he is right now. Currently in 7th, still leading right now. But no, it's actually just for Zurich, so Williams is about to put Zurich a lap down. Because of his goals and that where he's okay right now, and he's now in 6th. He's now in 6th place. Meanwhile, Zacharias has beaten Puerto Rico Mendes. Then again, Puerto Rico Mendes' car is already being stricken in now. Now battle it out. The stricken Taka being cleared by Rory, who is now Midori, as we see Sven Jensen already also taking the initiative to clear another E-Class car, and that would be Hanari Miyuki, who's currently down at 19. Corey Gibbon has now dropped down to last place. Remaining in be 19. Ryuta Sano now clearing him as well, to put him a lap down to him. And a lap down to Asano. Just how much he struggles on just the ability to accelerate. Let's see here how much he's having issues just turning the car. That looked pretty much pedestrian. Adachi now comes into the pits and he has 12 liters of fuel. So there might be some hope that we might see Rory Mendes try to repair his car. That 20th place finish might just be important. That's why he's continuing to run in this race, because he is going to be hoping that there will be other retirements in this race. Also need to pay attention though, as Adachi didn't really spend a lot of time in that pit stop. So he should have a very serious shot of winning this race. Tasano now looking for something against Vengeance. And now going for the slipstream against Azurid here, who is basically going to go for points. Just a single point will do. And then he has that position practicing qualifying all around. Now Azurid, though, meanwhile, is going to see if he can give Vengeance a bit of run for his money despite the blue flags. Remember, there's really no blue flags in Assetto Corsa. Is just going to keep on going. Vengeance already has his position taken care of. And you might want to know where Great Power is. Great Power has also already made a pit stop. As you can see, he's already made a pit stop, and he is already leading Adachi. Right now, there's not much of an issue here. He should be able to hang on until the end of this race. And speaking of which, we do have also Irin, who is yet to make a pit stop alongside Romy. Brown still maintains a 5.1 second gap though to Adachi. Cycles here. Great Power and Adachi having already made their pit stops is going to give them a serious advantage for their race for the win. Can Great Power make a double here in Fuji Speedway? We're just going to have to. Just beaten as it was if this is 13th place. And the IE class having great qualifying just to be undone in this race it is an interesting outlook here, as you now get to see though Aziz Wazib, or rather Iron, now beating Rory Rico Mendes, who again has a stricken car. Here is Ryan Kagawa now leading against Wazib, and you can see here both of them still going side by side into the Coca-Cola corner after 30 laps. Wazib now has the inside line, but it won't be enough. It's now Ryan Kagawa's 13th place. And down the inside goes Wazib once again. He's not going to give up on that position just yet. But watch out though for Iron, as she might be able to split the two of them. Right now, after a pretty hectic period between laps 15 to 25. Just about coming into the halfway stage of this race. Iron still with some decent amount of control here. It's either Maya Nanis or Mokoko for the win. These are currently the two drivers who have already made their pit stop and are still staying in 3rd and 4th place. But catch this, Adachi is actually catching up to Prower, and Prower's all on his own. So, looks to me that Prower is having some serious amount of issues. In 14th place, chasing Aziz Wazib for 13th. Still, nothing to report so far. Alex Grant, meanwhile, on the hunt against Rafael de Oliveira for the 10th place. And right now, this race has already taken a pretty interesting turn here. And now speaking at the class car that are basically occupying the top 10 and to an extent top 11. But remember that outside of Brower and Adachi, the top 11 have yet to make their pit stops, and we are now coming into the second half of this race. So this will be a very interesting thing to note coming to the next 20 laps. So yeah, so right now we are just gonna pay attention to how this race develops. So again, if you have any questions in the chat, feel free to share, as you know, I'll be open to answering in the chat essentially. On the lap 33, one lap closer into the halfway stage. Right now, Alex Grant is chasing Rafael de Oliveira. Didn't have the best season for Nerissa Ravenclaw, despite having Nerissa as his number 1 so far. So this is also another notice here. We have Johnny Pernata though getting very close there to Alex Grant. The drop is actually super strong though on this track, especially given that they have a rubber long straight, and now Pernata is about to go down the inside and take the position away, and just about. Oh, and that's a slam into the side of Johnny Pernata. Both cars actually getting into each other. There was a bit of a wheel spin though from Alex Grant that actually hit the side of Johnny Pernata, and now both cars look to be pretty much jeopardized, but I don't think there's heavy amounts of damage. There are some damage, but not a lot of it, and they're able to continue. The race continues to turn on its head. What a surprise it has been so far. Look, that's not the first time we saw this incident. Basically, the same thing happened to Corey Mendez and Kawan Boomin. And of course, both cars are already pretty much stricken to the point of them not being able to race properly at this point. Alright, so Chromie now continues to lead this race, but it won't be for long because she has yet to make a pit stop. Iron is also in with a shout potentially, just staying in 3rd or 4th place. And right now there's not much when it comes to some strategies right now. Right now Rafael de Oliveira has been beaten by Alex Grant. Alex Grant now goes ahead of the other drivers in the field, down inside top 10. So it's Autofister 9th and 10th right now. Asano in 9th for Gigi Murray. Alex Grant 10th for Cyril Immergreen. Well, 10th. As the sun continues to drop by. Sun continues to drop. Alright, first half of the race done. We're now in the second half. Prower is catching up to Iron. Catching up to Prower. Although the gap's now dropped down to 4 seconds. So it's gonna be a interesting second, as we're now at 35 laps complete. Rico Mendes is now dropped down a lap, which is to not cause too much trouble to the other cars. Just like another fast driver. Alright, so in terms of next driver to make a pit stop, Kyle Williams and Gil Casano, the next drivers to make a pit stop. So we will see where they will end up relative to the rest of the field. And just to note, Williams is already ahead of Pranada by over 30 seconds. So Williams is about to get his new fresh pair of boots in the form of racing tires. Already making the switch right now. Asano now comes into the pit box himself. There's Jordi Pranada now, absolutely charging in the main straight. Williams is already out. Asano just gone in, so Williams should be safe. In 8th place right now. Has been beaten by Ryan Kagawa, who is currently charging forward in 13th place. And so there's really not much of a change right now. There's also Zacharias, who's down in 17th. Corey is down in 20th. So it's a tale of 3 laps for these 3 drivers. Is of course on the lead lap, still yet to make a pit stop in that number 14 Koseki Biju machine. Obviously, since making the switch from Himori Luna to Koseki Biju, he hasn't had the best of times. Obviously, huge amounts of success have eluded him since winning that Hololive 3 title. So Shadowreza just needing to consistently good throughout the season to warrant a championship title for all the Pebbles watching. And as you can see here, Shadow just continues to be mindful of how he drives his car, because look at the tires, already pretty shot. Maintain a decent speed while also trying to manage those tires. And now Zacharias have already made a pit stop earlier on. Shadowreza has yet to make a pit stop. He's about to be under pressure once again. It's a case of unlocking oneself. But Zacharias is just chill with the situation here. As you can see, Shadowreza now goes around the outside. As you can see, Shadowrun is still somewhat side by side, but will he try and move down the inside? Yes, he does against Zacharias. Zacharias now sticking in the inside at 100R. Shadowrun is just going to try around the outside. And just about beats him. Great power has gone seriously close to Iron. 37 laps complete. More driver potentially making it down into the pits. very close to Irene, but has kind of lost a decent amount of time though recently. So right now it's still a bit of a damper in the works. Irene, meanwhile, chasing Evelyn Kuromi for the top spot. Continues to stay in the lead right now. Irene currently in second, Prower in third, Adachi fourth, Shadareza in fifth, Yazid stays in sixth, Sven Jensen in seventh, Williams 8, Grant ninth, and Prananda now in the top 10 after much of the EN class cars have made their pit stops, but there's still a decent amount of yet to make their pit stops. There's still 5 EN class drivers who have yet to make a pit stop. Development so far in this race. Here's Pranata trying to see if he can find something against Alex Grant, and that looks like Jorge Mendes struggling with pace woes throughout the entire race. Now he's 2 laps down to Azurid. So Takamori not having a good day in the office. Final round of pit stops might be in the next 5 laps or so. So it is just going to case of, you know. Prower currently in third, now 5/10 behind Irene, and Adachi has now gone into the mix. You can see here the train of cars forming between Irene and Kuromi, and now Kuromi has managed to pull away, and you want to know why? Just because there's Puerto Rico Mendes continuing to cause some trouble. De Oliveira has cleared him. Irene has yet to clear, but has and is about to be aware though about Great Prower, and now there's a pandemonium of stuff right now in the action. And look at Takeda Adachi too, looking for a move against Great Prower, is almost alongside. Massive chaos in the wake of Puerto Rico Mendes here, and there's also Tayo trying to stay ahead of Adachi here. And down the inside goes Great Prower, now trying to beat Irene for second place. Great Prower dicing and slicing through the traffic as Shadareza now comes into the pits. His rival should be Tyler Williams, who is currently in the chicane. Shadareza now peels in for a brief stop for gas and tires. Shadareza not having a lot of time spent on that service, should be back in a jiffy here, as Shadareza now goes into 7th place with fresh rubber right now. Never mind that face. But anyways, 40 laps complete, 21 laps to go, and still nothing is fully certain, as now we see Irene about to be under pressure from Takeda Adachi. 3 different engines in the podium. EN Justice member, we got an Advent member, we also have a Hall of Promise member in the top 3 right now. Again, remember, Kuromi and Irene have yet to make their pit stops, so let's not rest on the laurels yet for now. Speaking of which, we are just going to pay attention to current situations here. Remember, there's still pit stops that need to be done. And just to check, Jorge Mendes has actually made a pit stop, based on what I'm seeing. And now he should be okay. So his reign of terror has now come to an end. So he should be causing no more problems. from this point onwards. The damage has kind of been done for some of these drivers. It's Kagawa, or specifically Quasit, who had been running at the top end of the field at the start of this race, is now seeing their prospects not come to really in fruition yet. As the sun slowly sets here in Fuji Speedway, more drivers come in for their pit stop. Stays where he is right now. Evelyn Promi, the race leader, is about to relinquish her lead for a pit stop. Rafael de Oliveira stays on for one more lap. Ray Brower stays on. He's already made a pit stop. Iron has also joined Evelyn Promi as expected, so it's now going to be Brower in the lead of this race. Adachi in second. Hazik Yazik currently in third. And right now, there's not a lot of incidents to report other than the bunching up of traffic. And that was interesting to look at. Speaking of which, Sven Jensen is about to also come in for his pit stop. So Shadowside is expected to gain some, at least a position to get himself into 6th place. Corby's now down in 3rd. Iron's now down in 4th. Yaz in 5th. Jensen 6th. Shadowside in 7th. Williams in 8th. Grant 9th. Johnny Pranata rounding out the top 10. It's a decent day for the EN class. That's for sure. Out. Kyle Williams, meanwhile, he's to his jump promise teammate, and Williams has beaten him. Alsgren stays at 9th. Pranata in the top 10. That leaves just about no driver except Hazik Yazi and Rafael de Oliveira, who have yet to make their pit stops. So this will mean Shadowreza will be inside the top 10 as it stands. Sorry, top 5 as it stands. De Oliveira possibly going into the top 10 as Alex Grant, though, is finding off Sven Jensen, though, for a spot in P8. Ooh, pretty aggressive on the curbs there. The tires look pretty glitch as Pranat goes down the inside on Alex Grant. This is for 9th place. And he is absolutely making his charge known. The ID class car still showcasing what it's got in that car. And has yet to no surprise, to the surprise of no one, has made his pit stop. Shadowreza should be able to get into the top 5. But right now, there's no denying that it's been great for hours this day so far. Except he is currently being swamped by traffic. Hyuta Sano right in front of him. He's currently running in 13th. Kagawa in 14th, so he's basically sandwiched between 13th and 14th right now. Williams is about to potentially clear Hazik Yazik as well. A decent debut or a decent debut now in the blue and white of Oro Crony. And a bit of black as well. So, yeah, it's a decent debut for Williams. He's currently running in 6th. And given the fact that he started back in 20th, this is a massive return for him. Meanwhile, for the battle for 13th, Asano still stays there. Kagawa in 14th, about to be overtaken by Great Prower, who's running around the outside. Will he be able to stick around? He should be able to clear them. Meanwhile, Hinoshi Tayo is looking for a move. Looks at the outside, but cannot find any discernible gaps. Meanwhile, there's Kagawa trying to go around the curves, and that hasn't working so far. Ray Proud now leads Adachi by 1 second. Anything can happen still in this. Anything can happen in this race. gaps now opened up to 2 seconds. As Prower's now cleared Ryan Kago as well. Look at Adachi meanwhile, still behind Ryan Kago and some of the other cars. So it's a case of lap traffic being an issue. As you can see here, finally, one more car comes in. And that's Yuri Rafael de Oliveira, the last driver to make a pit stop in this race. Is already down to 19th, Corey Jimenez in 20th, so it's pretty much a tale of two stories for Hololive English Smith. Adachi, meanwhile, is challenging Great Prower for the win, and he's really not that far from Prower. Prower has already cleared himself all the other lap cars, so he should be free to attack. Meanwhile, there's like 3 other cars that Adachi needs to clear. So it's not really a fully positive one for all 3 of the cars, and only one of them is currently challenging for the win. And then he's currently blocked behind some dastardly traffic. Around 15 laps to go before, or rather 20 laps to go before we properly conclude this race. And I found that this race has been discernibly entertaining, at least for the neutral system perspective. If you're a ruffian, you're gonna be enjoying Great Prower's progress. Pretty solid job, all things considered. And now you can see though, Zacharias is currently running in 15th place. Right around the outside goes Adachi to try to defend his spot, but he just doesn't have the pace to, and oh, kick up in the throttle there for Adachi. That's not really going to help his cause. Should be able to try to hang on to this 2nd place spot with 20 laps to go. So, 46 laps complete. Hassan Yazid now getting very close there to Williams. As there might be down the inside. Yazid now lining up over the 4. As he goes down the inside. The Archivist against the Warden of Time. Who will win this battle? Hitting into turn 1. Hassan Yazid gets very close there to Tyler Williams into turn 1. Williams, meanwhile, keeps his outside line nip and tuck as they're coming into the corner. Yes, it just has the run. Needed to stay ahead at the apex. So he should have not much of a problem. Seeing some other potential battles there forming. Here's Alex Lorenz, Ben Jensen. They have not been separated since the start of this race. The Cecilia immigrant number 34, having had a very low-key season, despite having a 2nd place finish under Luca Boschfall in round 2 of the season at Lime Rock Park, and another one in round 5 at Central. I think that race is generally the last time we get to see an auto pistol 1-2. Of course, Tasana from Gigi won that race. So that's also that. As we now see Prower continuing to stay ahead. Now gaps open up to 8 seconds to Adachi. Grant meanwhile still on Sven Jensen's rear as the sun slowly continues to set into the horizon here in Shizuoka. And right now, no potential moves haven't amounted to anything so far just yet. Carz, meanwhile, in 14th place. Laps to go here in Fuji as Azurit potentially thinks of a move down the inside against car that he has already lapped him. And starting Fernanda running in 8th place. So the highest ID class car is now currently in 8th place. Early on, they were the ones dominating the headlines. And right now, the 8th class cars are absolutely showing what they can do in race trim. Much a touch and go moment for the results, especially in the mid-pack. It looks to me that the chances of Mokoko win in Formula Hololive International is becoming stronger and stronger. How these drivers will fare at the latter stages of this race. Now the tire wear is about to become an issue. This will be a big problem for the ID class cars who look at their tires is already pretty much shot. Jody Panata has the oldest tires of anyone so far, 43 laps. Tayo Zacharias and Kagawa in a battle for more points of sorts. And into turn 1, everyone goes, especially Ryan Kagawa, as we're looking into his onboard. He is doing a pretty much solid job right now. Still 20 cars remaining in this race. Jostling as he learned that now having to face off against Yuta Sano, starting running at 12. And he is currently trying to fend off against strong opposition. Anyway, 16 laps to go in Fuji. Still pretty much a question mark as to how this race is going to unfold. Sano continues to fend out pressure from the back, but at the same time needs to get past Hinoshi Tayo. And I think, sorry, Hinoshi Tayo has already passed Yuta Sano. And now Sano, basically we got these two Indonesian drivers now trying to find something against each other. Right now Sano looking for something, but he also needs to pay attention though to his other rivals. Chasing Takeda Adachi. This is for second place. Just need to see how it works. Side-by-side action to send Yuta Sano down to 14th place with this move. Inside Zacharias goes, and the sun finally fully sets at Fuji Speedway. The race coming into its conclusion. Visibility still good. And right now Zacharias not in 13th place, Asano 14th, Kakawa 15th place. Will the ID class cars have some form of redemption for the other drivers? Internationa, who was battling at the front, same goes for Aziz Muazif, who started on pole position. The strategy that they are in right now has not been forthcoming to them. To the final few corners here in what should be lap 52 for them. Carz still on lap 53, now to lap 54 as he now crosses the line. Still in very much in command. Kuromi getting very close to Takeda Adachi, who continues to struggle behind Ryan Kagawa. And now we can see Angela Sims now blasting through over to these other INT class cars. Sims, meanwhile, running him down to 16, is looking to get something against Ryan Kagawa, who's currently running in 15th. Evelyn Kuromi, meanwhile, is struggling. Already coming down the inside of Sims. And that should be an issue well sorted. As Kuromi continues to set their sights onto Adachi, who continues to struggle to make the pass onto Kagawa. But will it be for long? Before it's enough from Adachi, he's going to be pretty much exposed. And now, Adachi taking a look down the inside. Not close enough for a move. A disappointing start in 2026 for Joshua Zurin and Ulrika Mendes. Zurin having issues all day from practice to currently lap 51 of sorts for Azurit. Was that lap 52? So yeah, not the way Azurit wanted to start the 2026 Formula Hololive season, especially given that qualification to the World CEO Cup is going to be on the line. And right now, Adachi is looking for a move against Ryan Kagawa finally, as they now come down to the inside. 12 laps to go as visibility is starting to absolutely be reduced here in Fuji Speedway. Shades of 2022 Split A Race 2. And we will have to see how it goes. Adachi now continuing to stay where he is right now in second place. Romy now being swapped by, has been swapped by two other cars. Irene, meanwhile, also coming into this equation as well. Tal Williams, meanwhile, having a pretty solid debut for Amane Kanata. Or rather, sorry, Oro Crony. We'll have to just continue to die hard, I guess. So it's currently Prower and Adachi. And now Evelyn Chrome is Alex Rent beats Sven Jensen once again. And then it's Ivan in 4th place, Mohammed Reza in 5th. 6th place goes to Hazik Yazid. Doing a pretty solid job though for Sherry Novella. And then we also got the likes of Tyler Williams, who again, as we mentioned, having a pretty solid debut for Oshinava Muna, Orokoni Pranata in his first Formula Hololive race for Muna. Also doing a very good job. He was leading the field. So let's not take anything away from that information. Alex Rat 9th, Sven Jensen currently running in 10th. And then after that, it will be Aziz Wasif, who was also in this race. And then Hiroshi Tayo, who is currently in the Ella number 58. Zacharias now running in 13th for Crazy Oli. Kyutasano for Gigi Murin. Not having a good race right now. He's currently down in 14th. But Ryan Kago is still pretty much too far back to make something happen. So we'll see how these drivers continue to navigate their way into this race. Six laps done, 10 laps to go. So it's Prower, Adachi, Romy, Irene, Shadin Reza in the top 5. And then followed by Yazid, Williams, Pranata, Grant, and Jensen. And guess what? The rivalry will continue to shape here as the rivalry between Irene and Sims continues to take shape. As you see here, that's a sweet move around the outside though for Irene against Ryan Kagawa to clear the lap par. 20 seconds now, the gap between Prower and Adachi. Looking very solid, looking pretty solid so far. As we are just going to check on here. Yep, I just wanted to remind everyone about Corey Recommenders. He had that heavy crash with Tawan Bumin earlier in the race, and then he had to race with damage until his only pit stop, which was pretty late in the race. So he's now 2 laps down to his fellow Takamori teammate, Joshua Zurin, who is currently running in 19th, which is not really a solid time right now. Everyone is just trying to see if they can make up the numbers. As Corey Recommenders now goes down the inside of Ryan Kagawa. Meanwhile, is about to try again onto Takeda Adachi. Will it be enough? Meanwhile, as we're now seeing Kuromi continue to just make his way through. We're just gonna have to see how it goes. Absolutely dishing some choice words though to Sims. Irene winning this rivalry, winning this battle so far in the war between the two. Irene just continues to lay it down. And Holy smokes, this is going to be pretty close affair between Tayo and Zacharias. This is for 12th place. Tayo on the outside, Zacharias on the inside. Who will blink first into turn 1? It looks to me that it will be Inochi Tayo. As Zacharias now gets it, and here's a bit of a change here. Evelyn Kuromi's has made a move for 2nd place, but she cannot hang on right now. Adachi now looking to fight back into the Coca-Cola corner. He's ahead at the Coca-Cola corner, but will he stay there? And that's a bold move around the outside for Kuromi, as she has her eyes set for 2nd place. But will she hang on? Kuromi beaten by Adachi right now at the hairpin. Adachi has the outside line into the 300R, and this will allow Kuromi to be in 2nd place. And on, man. So, this is a very interesting battle here, as it now transpires that Kuromi is now in 2nd place and is looking to see if she can pull away from the rest of the pack. And as it stands right now, the championship standings will be as follows. Great Power in the championship lead. Evelyn Kuromi in 2nd. Adachi 3rd. Iron 4th. Sanareza 5th. And then Yazik 6th. William 7th. Renata 8th. Grant 9th. And Sven Jensen in the top 10. And yes, there are some things to note here. All the individual 4 gens in the EN class have now occupied the top 4 in the standings. Great Power for Advent in the lead, Kuromi for EN Justice in 2nd, EN Myth, Adachi in 3rd, and EN Promise Iron in 4th. Great interesting information here as we're now coming into the closing stages of this race. Sounds a decent amount of a great amount of racing, decent amount of drama, intriguing amount of strategy. As we'll see the race come to its conclusion. So it's Power Kuromi, Adachi Aaron, Shazad Reza, Yazid Willie, Pranata, Grant, and Jensen. And it looks to me that the gap is pretty big. Great Power doing an amazing job. Currently in the lead right now for Mokoko Abyss Guard. And you gotta have to go back into the 24-25 season, and not even at that time the Fuamoko car has able to win a race under Nichi Michan, where the car made its official debut. Well, not really. Even back in 23-24, back when the Mokoko car actually made its debut, there really hasn't been a lot to talk about. As of course, to look at the win history for the Mokoko ride, the ride has not won a race in any time. So, right now, there's really not much of a change right now, unless Pranata has anything to say about it. Miyuki has now gone side by side with Williams, who's currently up into 7th place. Pranata is chasing Kyle Williams, though, but needs help from his own ID class teammate to try to make something happen. And into the last few laps of this race. Less than 5 laps to go. Brower is now also catching up, though, to these 2 cars. was a pretty decent mistake, though, from Ray Brower. He missed the apex completely, but manages to keep the car on the track. Sun really pretty much setting here at Fuji Speedway. And that is, of course, Enzo Ferrari's parked car. And as you can see here, the Sun pretty much already set here in Fuji Speedway. As you can see here, there's really nothing in the horizon anymore. Pranata has meanwhile beaten Tyler Williams, though. This is for 7th place. Can Tyler Williams try to hang it back? Lights now on at the track. Visibility still in the question. Visibly still pretty much in the under questioning here. And so right now we are taking a look into the situation here. Pranata has now beaten Tyler Williams, and he's slowly pulling away with only a few laps to go. So top 10 at Fuji have now switched over into, well, Williams now dropping down a position now. Iron, meanwhile, looking to find a potential podium upset against Adachi. Alright, 62 laps done, 4 laps to go. So laps now on at the track. There's still a decent amount of visibility for the other parts of the track. So the drivers should not have any issues, though, as they're now racing under the lights. But who's going to be taking the checkered flag? We'll have to wait and see. Well, you can see Adachi squirming. Just trying to get the car back in control. Adachi really needs to survive this next 2 laps, this next 3 laps, though. Iron is absolutely on a charge. And you can just see here Adachi just continuing to be careful with his pace here. And he should not be making and affording any silly mistakes. As we now see Asano, though, against Kuromi. And I think Asano's going to actually give some problems, though, to his own Gen teammate. Because remember, Kuromi's in 2nd place right now, almost in the bag. And right now, Kuromi's hoping that she can get some clearance from Asano. But Asano is not giving her any of that. And Adachi is absolutely gunning for the opportunity to take that 2nd place. So the battle for 2nd place is going to come down to the wire. Adachi is going to see if he can get 2nd place. He can see that 2nd place taken by him from Kuromi. Ray Proud is about to start the penultimate lap of the Riding on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji International Race. And right now we are just gonna keep on taking a look here. Great Power should, again, as I mentioned, have this race be in the bag. No issues so far. So it's all a case of just watching, just sitting back and watch. As Iron now makes the move over Takeda Adachi. Aaron's now up into 3rd. Kuromi still stuck behind Yuta Asano with 2 laps to go. Ray Brower is about to make history as one of the Advent drivers to win a race in Formula Hololive International, and the first winner for Mokogo Bisgar, and continues to be at the top at Fuji Speedway. Kuromi stays in 2nd. Iron against Takeda Adachi. Still a toss-up between the two. Iron currently running in 3rd. Adachi now goes down the inside. Brower running on the final corner, is about to start the final lap of this race. Iron manages to fight it back. But here comes Takeda Adachi Down into the inside, turn 11 and 12. Oh, and there's a bit of a contact between the two. And there's contact between Iron and Liakai. I'm sorry, Iron and Takeda Adachi. And Takeda Adachi, from hope to despair. Final lap has just started. And there was contact between Iron and Adachi. The stewards are going to be checking the replay as to see if it's going to be a racing incident or not. Oh, it's just Iron losing control, and it's going to be a tight call, though, if we're going to see Iron getting a penalty or not. Because... oh my goodness, that has been a bit messy, though. But Great Power, meanwhile, still has this race pretty much under control. Yeah, it's mainly just Liakai just losing control while in the front. She just succumbed under pressure. So it's going to be a 30-second penalty for Iron. And that's not going to be a good look for her. Chadrezzo might just be promoted to 3rd place after all. But look at Great Power, though. Continuing his amazing performance in Fuji Speedway for Mokoko Bisgard that put him in championship contention in Holo-type world. Now, here in Formula Hololive International, it is now Great Power continuing his dominance. His intimidation in Fuji Speedway has continued to pay off. Maximum destruction in his way. In his wake, Great Power wins for Mokoko Bisgard in the 2026 Running on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji International Series race. Hard break for Hololive, as looks to me that Takeda Adachi will be out of the points alongside Azurit and Corey Recommend as Kuromi finishes 2nd, Iron 3rd, but with a 30-second penalty looming, it will be Mobasha and Reza who will be taking 3rd place. Iron will be demoted to 4th. Heartbreak for Hololive right at the death. And you just can't help but feel a huge amount of anguish. Yazid will be finishing in 5th. Adachi will be credited with an 18th place finish, as Oliveira and Miyuki have passed each other as past Adachi. Sims will score points. So Evelyn will be 2nd. Oh, and that's about right at the death. As with Pranata, that won't be too much of an issue. So we'll check onto the finishers later on, and we will try to confirm the penalty soon. But what a race that has been. Gotta have to feel for Hololive. Another race that basically went away from them. But anyways, let's take a look into the results. So Great Power takes the checkered flag over Evelyn Kuromi in 2nd place. It's a basically a good day for Advent and Justice on top. Iron with 3rd place provisionally will be sent down to 4th place. Down against Muhammad Shazrin Reza in 4th, who will take the podium position. After penalties. And as a result, we will be also taking a look here. Hazik Yazid 5th. I just need to double check here. So it will be Hazik Yazid 5th, Jody Pranata 6th, Williams in 7th, Alex Grant 8th, Sven Jensen 9th, Aziz Muaziv rounding out the top 10, Noshitayo in 11th place, Matthias Zacharias in 12th, Hyuta Asano in 13th, Ryan Kagawa in 14th, and guess what? DeAngelo Sins manages to salvage a single point here in Fuji Speedway as the lights now turn on. Rafael Oliveira in 16th and 17th place. A few other drivers. Well, from here Shitayo onwards, it will be 1 lap down. From Takeda Adachi onwards, it will be 2 laps down. Takeda Adachi 18th, Joshua Zuri 19th, and Corey Recommendus 20th. It's a very bad day for Myth. from bad to worst. Unfortunately for them. Unfortunately, that's how it's going to be. Tawan Boomin in 21st, Enzio Ferrari 22nd, Harvey Lusby in 23rd, and Dan Evans in 24th place. So, alright, I'm just gonna write a penalty reminder. Alright, I'm just going to write something in the stream just to double check. So, alright, so the confirmation for Takeda Adat for Irene is that she will get a 30-second penalty added to her race time for her collision with Adachi. So that is gonna be a massive blow to Myth coming into the next two races in qualifiers. So we're just gonna double check here as we're gonna also move over into a few things that I would like to introduce. So, okay, good. The results have been processed. So, might need to give us some time while we sort out a few things here. So, just gonna... Alright, so we're just going to double check on on the few things that we need to do here before we properly double check on the situation. And right now it is looking alright, so we're just going to double check here and alright, so we're just going to alright, so yeah. So we are going to do something new here to showcase the top 10 in the championship standings. And yeah. So we're just going to take a look here and alright, so taking a look into the championship standings, we are going to be mainly taking a look into the top 10. And looking into the top 10, whoops, that is merely just a placeholder. So we're just going to double check here. Alright, so looking at the top 10 standings after Fuji Speedway, we have had the confirmation that Great Prower will now take the championship lead. And remember, the top 10 will qualify for the World Suyo Cup in the second half of the season. And joining him will be Evelyn Kromi and Masha and Reza so far in the top 3. And alongside the 3 will be Irene and Haziyazi in the top 5. Johnny Pranata 6th, Tyler Williams in 7th. Alex Grant 8th, Sven Jensen 9th, and Aziz Bouazif rounding out the top 10 for Ayunda Risu. So that out of the way, we do want to share with you the full championship standings, but we will be sharing that on our Twitter. So please take a look into that if you want to be more interested into the championship standings. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in for today's race at Fuji Speedway. We absolutely have enjoyed everyone's company. Basically have enjoyed everyone's company in the stream. Hopefully we'll be seeing you more for more racing action. The next racing action will come in February. So that out of the way, thank you all for tuning in for today's stream. My name is Wamachan Reza. in the commentary booth, and you've been watching the Riding on Dreams Grand Prix at Fuji International Series race. We'll see you at round 2 in Le Pau in March.